All right, let's rock and or roll in this new calendar year. If you're listening to this live and in time, then it is a new calendar year. If you're listening to this like 3 months in, you'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I am recording this as my first episode back for 2024. I hope you're well. I hope you're great. I had a fairly active break. I worked on the Zero Fucks program up until the end of December, getting everything retweaked. And my gosh, there's some fucking sick content in there, like module two, which is practices to help you come back home to your authentic self. Fuck. I cannot wait for those of you who sign up. And I know last year I was talking about join the waitlist, join the waitlist, join the waitlist. Now it's time for you to actually join the program. And you got 5 days to join the program because this is the first enrollment for 2024. And I'll have a number of enrollments throughout the year. But holy shit, there is a section in module 2. I can't give it away, but fuck, I wish I could. I just want to show you already. I just want to show it to you and be like, there it is. There it is. Go and do it. I was uploading the content and I was crying. I was fucking crying. Makes me just cry even thinking about it now. And the homework and challenge that I've set for one of those sections of the program. Oh my gosh. It's something. It's really something special, powerful, potent. And yeah, for those of you who are truly wanting to give less fucks this year to areas that don't serve you, and if you want to liberate yourself, if you want to feel lighter, more free, more clear, more grounded, unwavered, confident, all of those fucking sick ass words, then yeah, I really do hope that you join me for this. It's a 6-month coaching container. So when you sign up, you've got 6 months with me. We've got 6 live monthly calls together. And then within that 6-month period, there are 3 major modules for you to work through. And each of those modules are so beautifully paced. You actually get 2 months per module. First module is all about the ego, personas, limiting beliefs, your patterns, your coping mechanisms, everything basically that takes your fucks away from what matters, and what takes your fucks away from showing up as your real, genuine, authentic self. The second module, which is also 8 weeks, is how to come back home. How do we come back home to our authentic, genuine nature? What tools and practices can you put into place and really start to live into for authentic living? And again, that's 8 weeks. It's such lux time for you to do the work, apply the work, ponder the work, go to dinner, go to the gym, live your life, watch a sunset, read a book. You know, I understand that people live lives and it's not just hijacking you for that period of time. And module 3 is dancing with these 2 giant forces, the force of the ego, the force of the authentic self, because both are so powerful. And one is so destructive and sneaky, all with good intent. Ego has good intent. It thinks it has good intent, I should say. And then the other force, which is your authentic self, that great, powerful, potent force that I would love for you to reintroduce you to. You know, I'm sure across your lifespan you've been in proximity to that, close to that, you've had that, and then you've fucking lost it and you're like, oh, how do I get back to it? Anyway, I don't know how I got on that rant, but I'm so excited. I'm excited. That's what I was talking about. Yes. So I was working up until end of year. I took 10 days of just chilling in the sun. I'm reading such a cool book at the moment, Tiny Beautiful Things by Cheryl, can't remember her surname. Such a great book. Really digging that. I literally am like turning it page, turning it. I never read like that. I'm like the slowest fucking reader. And I usually take a whole year to read one book. And then I'm like, I might start another book. This one, the way she writes is just exquisite. So I've been laying in the sun and I've been having day naps and pottering, love a good potter. And yeah, now I'm back in some of the swings. I've got a pretty big project that's coming out middle-ish this year, which I can't yet talk about. Probably have an idea, but yes, I'm now getting into that. It's a really big, awesome, exciting, soul evolving, ego hating project. My ego hates it. Anyway, I want to talk to you about your theme for this year. Have you got a theme for this year? Have you got an intention for this year? If you don't, you want to listen to this. If you don't, there was a session that I ran at the start of this year, like a week ago, where women joined up online, and it was a 90-minute session about how to set up your theme for the year. Took them into a fucking sick ass meditation, and then had a journaling time and then share time. And I'm actually going to reshare that video with you below. You do need to purchase it because it's a full 90-minute session. So it's a purchasable replay for $47. But I'm going to share with you in this podcast how I've landed at mine. But that in there has got the meditation, it's got the journaling prompts, and it's got the shares from the women, which were epically beautiful. Anyway, so late last year, I thought but I was vibing that my word for 2024, pardon me, was going to be receive, because it was around my birthday time. And I was getting all this love from my beautiful women friends that I've made a pact in myself this year to give more fucks to. More of my time, energy, and life force to my beautiful women friendships. I'm not going to overdo it because that's how I used to be. I used to overdo it, and then I would have to totally isolate myself. I'd get too much in their lives, and then would get kind of too intertwined with what they were doing. It activated my people pleasing mode. I spent then quite a bit of time away from my women friends out of fear, mainly of myself and how I would be. So then when I landed at being me and then showing up to my friendships as me, it feels really good. Anyway, so I thought it was received because I was receiving so much love from them when I did my beautiful birthday lunch. And I thought, okay, we'll just see what that's about. And then the word abundance came in because last year I was working with the mindset of abundance when it came to wealth, when it came to love, when it came to my energy, and realizing, especially through my experience as being a bonus mum, how much more I had to give, how much more capacity in my heart I had to give that I wasn't giving. But certain circumstances kind of just pushed me forward from the middle of my back, pushed my chest out and said, you got more in here, darling. You got more love. You got more capacity. You got more arm holding hug space to give. And you can choose, but I reckon you can do it. So anyway, I thought it was abundance, but I didn't jam with the word, which is pretty important here. Didn't jam with the word, didn't gel with it, didn't really resonate. I kind of, when I think of abundance, I immediately go to wealth, and then I get a bit ugh, feels icky, sticky with, I think, so many coaches kind of fuckerizing the word abundance. So I didn't jam with that. So what I then did, and something that I typically do, is I Googled the definition of abundance and synonyms. I always love synonyms. And I know the definition of abundance, but I like to look at the words. And I'm a person who is clairsentient, and you may know about the 4 clairs: clairsentience, our ability to feel; clairaudience, our ability to hear; claircognizance, our just fucking ability to know something without knowing why we know it; and then clairvoyance is our ability to see. And it's all about feeling, hearing, seeing, knowing beyond what is tactilely there, you know? It's using our extrasensory senses. And my strong suit is clairsentience. So it's like when I'm working with a client, the way that they're saying something, a way that they're holding themselves, I'll feel so intensely and deeply into them that they may not know what they're feeling. And I will be able to tap into that. And they think, oh, fuck, how did you know that? So that's my strong suit. That's my strongest clear. So when I look at the words and did the definition and synonyms, I was waiting for that feeling, that impulse, or that pulsation. And the word plentiful was there. Oh my gosh, plentiful, plentiful. That to me, that landed, it still lands now because as soon as I hear it, I just want to move and I want to dance. I want to move and I want to dance. I want to move and I want to dance. There's just something about it that makes me want to groove, that feels nice. Feels like these beautiful waves of in and out and up and down and plentiful. I just imagine a garden full of the most beautiful tomatoes. When I feel the word plentiful, I just don't know why I immediately go to greenery. I go to greenery, like a field full of flowers. Or I think of like a beautiful table filled with just the most deliciously nourishing foods. Like just then I went out for a brunch with a beautiful friend of mine, Chris Cannon, and just the I was reading the menu and I was like, oh my God, what I'm about to order just sounds so delicious. And there's so much in there. There was like plenty of the most wonderful types of foods I could ever imagine, right? So I was really paying attention to that. Anyway, so that's now my word for 2024. But it took me, from October, November, December, I'd say, 2 months to land at that. So if for you, you're not sure what your word is, if you kind of think you know what your word is, which one of my clients thought she did when she came up to do the session last week, she thought she did. And then when she did this meditation and she did this practice, it shifted and it meant something. And you'll actually hear her share about it. Really, really beautiful stuff. So my word for the year is plentiful. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So plentiful, it's around really being in that, even the word bountiful mindset. It's looking at my bank account and seeing that there is plenty for now, right? Plenty in this moment that I am able to, if I wanted to, buy the delicious foods, or if I wanted to, I could shout a friend, a gorgeous dinner. If I wanted to, I could purchase this. If I wanted to, I could invest a little bit here, a little bit there, right? There's plenty there. When I look at my beautiful bonus daughters and I see them and they want to chat, they want to chit chat, they want to talk something out, they want to riff something off, then, it's being in that mindset of I have plenty of space, of time right now to listen. That capacity to listen, that bountiful, plentiful capacity to listen. And if I don't, I'll just communicate that and say, hey, I'm at really peak capacity right now. Let's pin this. I'm really interested. I'd love to talk about this at a later time, right? So that's the mindset that I'm developing. So then, again, you'll see in this meditation, what I wanted to then look at, which is always the work that I share with people who do my bodies of work, is, well, what's my next best step? It's been my practice since I overcame chronic pain when I was 24. What's my next best step? If my big intention is to be free, happy, living my life full of juice, full of jam, all of that, then what is my next best step to serve that, right? And that's how I got from chronic pain and kept doing these tiny little steps to aid that end result, that outcome. So for me, I then apply that, always have, since I've been 24, 38 now, to now plentiful. In order for me to really bring this to life and call it in, what's my next best step? And it's such a beautiful, I've never used this word before, but it came through and I loved it, absolutely loved it. And I actually did a bit of journaling and it said, Kat, be devoted. And I'll read for you here what I wrote down. So this was on the 7th of Jan. So first of all, plentiful, looking up the definition, is existing in or yielding great quantities. I love that. Existing in or yielding great quantities. Like just those words, I love them. They land, they jam, they juice, love it. So then my next best step, as I'm talking about now, is, okay, how do I serve? How will I serve this plentiful mindset and bring it in? So my next best step was to practice devotion. And I looked up the word devotion. This is what I do every year at the start of the year. Devotion is love, loyalty, enthusiasm for an activity or person. So in this particular case, it's an activity, but also it's of person, right? Because I then am thinking about at the end of the year, who's the cat that I want to be walking into? Who's the cat waiting for me going, girlfriend, sister, woman, practice devotion. Practice devotion. And I would feel into the energy of her, feel into her potency. And so I am loving, loyal, and enthusiastic for her, and also for the activities, right? So that's my devotion. So then I ask myself the question, what am I devoted to? What am I willing, able, and ready to be devoted to? Remembering this is all to serve plentiful. So for me, my practices that I will be devoted to and continue, some of them are continuing, some of them are re-engaging in. Continuing is Qigong, dance, and future self chats. Re-engaging more often, journaling, and solo walks. Me, myself, the birds, the universe. That is, I cannot tell you, when I walk, and sometimes I play music, never play a podcast. For me, I'm not saying for you, don't. I never play a podcast. I listen to maybe music, or I just walk. And I swear to you, that is the time where I'm in direct channel with the forces that be. And it's fucking beautiful. And you know what? I haven't done it for a really long time. So that's now the practice that I'm going to be devoted to. And then once I was writing that out, the woman at the end of this year that I'll be stepping into, the energy of her is unwavered. Can you imagine being unwavered by what other people might say or think? Can you imagine being unwavered by what you have to say and what you think about yourself, or what you can do, what you can't do, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do? That unwavered. You know what? I'm going to look that up right now. Literally, unwavered. Let's see. Unwavered meaning. Bear with me while Google prepares the definition. Continuing in a strong and steady way. Oof, I'm going to write that down in my journal. Write it down in my journal. Continuing in a strong and steady way. Steady. I love the word steady. Love the word steady. And then some of the synonyms are constant, steadfast. Constant, steadfast. Hang on, let's have a look. This is you. You're doing homework with me, right? This is the homework that I do. Steady, fixed, resolute, resolved, steadfast, unswerving. Nah, I like unwavering better. Unhesitating, unfaltering. Now they're just putting un in front of everything. Unshakable. Oof. Yeah, nah. I love unwavering. Anyway, because that's what revealed to me anyway during the little process that I did. So then I wrote at the bottom, my success will always come when I am 100% me. What helps me stay me is my practice of devotion. And that's it. So now I will continue. Now I know my next best step that I just need to focus on right now is to devote myself to Qigong, to dance, to journaling, to solo walks, to future self chats. And I'm not saying that I have to do that every fucking day, right? Maybe one day it's qigong, next day it's journaling, next day it's dance, next day it's a solo walk. But what I am doing every day, which I must share with you, is I'm in the practice of 3 good minutes, 3 good minutes of just sitting quietly. Sitting quietly. Actually, I even did it the other day because I didn't do it in the morning, but I took Bailey and Daisy out for a little wee and just out in the front grass on my house. And I just thought, I can do my 3 good minutes here. So I just had my feet on the ground and I closed my eyes and I put my watch timer on for 3 minutes. I'm like, this is 3 good minutes. So my 3 good minutes is 3 good minutes of stillness, even though my head will be noisy, get it, even though, um, there'll be a billion thoughts running through my head. I don't give a shit. 3 good minutes. And that will calm my nervous system. That'll slow my heart rate down. Eventually my thoughts might cool off. Maybe they won't. That's cool. I'm doing it for my body, doing it for my nervous system, doing it to serve a greater purpose rather than listening to whatever thoughts that are in my head. So I'm sharing this with you today. So you know how I kind of jam out this process and practice of being sorry, I got distracted because something came up on my computer. Of setting up your intention for the year. But like I said, if you want to go deep into it, put a journal, pen by your side, sign up for the 90-minute session because it's solid. I've had everyone who has done it, when I've sent them the replay, they have been gobsmacked and in tears, and have found it really beneficial for setting up their year. So highly encourage it if you feel called to do so. That's it from me. Plentiful. Here we come.